Previously on a new civilization and law, there was a country that was founded from a tribe. They expanded some more. Then part of it revolted. And then another country was created when the next group of people made their own rules, their own rights, and started a rebellion. And then from there, the people of this country, they headed out and went to India. And then they stayed here. And then they revolted because there were bad fishing laws. And then another group of people evacuated from this country. And then the people of this country called Kunsa, they headed up north and created their own country. Then those people headed further up north. They found the end of this bay and they created their own country named Marha. And then the people from here revolted because their purpose was to be at the end of the bay. But that wasn't this area's purpose. And that's what they did. They revolted. Then they expanded some more. And then they revolted some more. This country is quite important. They expand some more. And then this country, they decide, hey, we don't like being so small anymore. So they expand. But that immediately backfires as the two new gained lands break away and form their two new countries, which are named Iguana and Clan. And then there were quite a few countries. And then the original tribe, they expanded very much because they felt like they weren't going to be leader for much longer. And Estra, the orange country, didn't like that, so they stole a bit of land. And then this Israelite country called Kanai expanded further out. And then more revolts caused a new country called Mombasa to appear. And they expanded into Europe. And then Anestra makes a big move. They just take out a bunch of this barren land, make it theirs. And now this new country called Mombasa, they go further out into Europe because that's what they like to do. And then Kanai pulls a move that no one else has done before, made cities that aren't the capital. This gives them a big technological advance. And then Marha gains a little sliver of land. because why not? This is now the present day. So, this country, which is called Henjoda, they expand a lot, and they copy the idea of Kanai, and they start their own new city called Jangal in what is now modern-day Sri Lanka. They expand furthermore onto Barj al Ku's land. This isn't good for Barj al Ku. And then can I expand some more? Because ever since Mombasa broke away, they've been looking for more areas to conquer. They also took this bit of the Black Sea earlier, so yeah. And then more expansion from Mombasa. Very nice. Because they decided they want to meet up with their old buddies. And then nothing crazy happens. This tiny little country called Klang, they declare war on the OG Mara. Because what did they want? Coast. What do you do with the coast? Fish. And they don't have a coast. So how are they gonna fish? They can't. So they can't get money. But they need money to stay alive. So they declare war. They start a little thing. And they end up being successful. Now they're bigger. And the OG is smaller. And they don't know how that happened. And Mombasa founded a new city while you weren't looking. So what happens next? Boom. Some tribesmen in Kanai, they say, gee, we don't want to be part of this no more. We want to do what Mombasa did and explore new lands. We want to explore the seas, become powerhouses. Because Mombasa is eventually going to become a superpower. Wink, wink. So they take over this, they discover the Caspian Sea, they found the capital city, and they name it Kiluril. The country is called Siorosk. And yeah, so then Kanai does not like that. So, you know what they do? They attack them. And they succeed. They declare war done. And they get a lot more land. Even though they didn't even take from Kanai. They just want to have an excuse to get more land. And then Anestra gets a message from Badr al-Ku. Badr al-Ku says, hey, so so Anestia says, okay, we'll make something up. So they do a treaty or something like that. And Anestia moves its land further down, and all is well, no war or anything. Some of you can learn from this. And Bad Jalku, with their newfound power to expand, they expand. And they take more unclaimed land in Asia. And they become bigger. And it looks like there's a big scramble for Iran, modern day. And then, ever since Kanai took some of Siorosk's land, they are on critical danger mode. So they take new land and fully conquer the Caspian Sea. Then, you know what Marha does? They decide they want a piece of this Europe thing. So they expand into Tunisia. And they take these little islands, Sardinia and Corsica. And they take a little bit of Italy too. And they are now bordering what is modern day Balkans. And if there's anything I know, it's that if you're in the Balkans, that's a bad idea. Mombasa does not like you, because first, they've challenged your claim to Europe. Second, they're looking for trouble, it's obvious. And so, a big thing happens. Mombasa takes a lot of Turkey. And now Kurkas is right next to the border between Mombasa and Kanai. It's not good. And they take a little bit more of Cyprus. And now it's not looking too good for Kanai. Meanwhile, on the other side of the civilization, Uganda, who has been quiet for quite a long time, has finally decided to expand. They've gone from this to this. They decide that they want to be friends with Marha, and they border with them a little bit now. They're going to do a little emigration. And then they expand all the way down into this area. And that's it for today's episode of A New Civilization and Law. Episode 3. This is our world map. The following colours are assigned to the countries of Mara, Kunsa, Barjalku, Henjoda, Anestia, Vusai, who we haven't heard of in a while. Marha, Karki, we also haven't heard of in a while. Kanai, the popular one. Iguana, the one we were just talking about. Klang, this little boy who wasn't too mad about anything until they discovered fishing. Mombasa, which is the big Turkey Europe thing. And then Siorsk, the new Caspian country. So, that's all for this episode. Bye-bye.